Welcome back, everyone. The government is giving last-minute tax filers a little breathing room this year. Your federal income taxes are due on April 17th rather than the 15th, and that's because the 15th fell on a Sunday. The 16th is Emancipation Day in Washington, D.C. With us this morning is David Perez from Liberty Income Tax to talk a little more about it. David, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And tell us more about tax day. Everybody's in a rush to get their taxes done. Some of them waited till the last minute. Why is it such a big deal?
Well, it's a big deal because, of course, if you don't file by the 17th and maybe you owe money, you're going to incur a late filing charge, maybe some penalties and interest incurred on the monies that you may owe to the IRS. So it is a big deal to get your taxes filed in a timely manner, especially before the 17th. Now, there are some cases where you may get an extension, such as if you're overseas or maybe in the military. You get a deadline usually about 2 months after from the filing date. So it is good to meet that deadline. So for those of you who may have family or friends overseas or maybe that are in the military, they do get an extension automatically. So it's actually a good thing for them.
And you brought up a good point because if you haven't filed your taxes yet and you have paperwork that might be missing, you may need an extension. So who qualifies for that?
Anybody who's missing paperwork or anybody who's not ready to file, maybe those that may be ill, maybe you have a family member that may have been ill and isn't unable to file at this point. We can file an extension for them. If you're missing documents from your employer, you need additional time to collect your receipts. That's big, collecting receipts from business expenses or for expenses related to your job. Maybe you need time to collect those. You've been busy all year so far, Well, we can, file an extension for you so that you can have a little more time to collect all that information.
And it looks like there might be a lot of people that need it because some stats, the IRS says that they've received 91 million of an expected 144 million tax returns this year. So what do people need to be looking for right now? What advice do you have for our viewers who haven't necessarily filed their taxes yet?
I would just say file as soon as possible, get an extension if you can, see somebody, find an expert to help you through this process. If you have questions or concerns, about your return, of course, don't just say, hey, well, maybe I qualify for this or if it's an iffy situation, you should try and find somebody who may be able to help you. And we're always there at Liberty to help you with questions and help you answer those questions as best we can. And of course, if you need to file an extension, we're there for you as well.
And we asked you earlier, why is it so important for a person to maybe use an expert as opposed to going online and filing your taxes alone?
Well, an expert like myself will continue to educate themselves in the tax codes and changes that may help you to benefit you in some ways, such as, educational credits or, the child tax credit or maybe a motor vehicle tax credit or credits that would help you for purchasing energy efficient purchases for your home. Those are things that are not commonly known and may benefit some taxpayers, especially late filers, because they're usually homeowners or have tax deductions and mortgage interest and those things. That's why we're there. That's why we go to school,
All right, Mr. Perez. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us this morning from Liberty Income Tax.